Hello and welcome to the Backtracking episode proper for the Pretty Reckless. We start with the band's debut album, Let Me Up. Released in 2010, it will come out through Interscope Records and be produced by Kato Kandwala. So I sort of already went over the history behind this album for the very brief history video, and as such, I don't really see a need to rehash that. So instead, we'll begin with the album's first song here titled My Medicine, and to anyone even vaguely familiar with the Pretty Reckless, then yeah, this song is a great example of their sound. I did mention in the VBH video about the song Make Me Wanna Die, and interestingly, that song would be a really big hit over here in the UK. It got to a point where the album that the song came from came out in the UK several months before dropping in America, and we even got two singles that America didn't, so go us. Who knew that the UK would be such big fans of this band's sound, including me? The Pretty Reckless have a grungy alternative rock lean, which is accompanied by a lot of its riff work especially, and the drumming is especially heavy on the snare. And honestly, I'm all for that. I do like that the tone isn't just a downer the entire time though, and the sound does try to lighten things up on occasion. It's a good structure that's glued together nicely and rarely loses its focus, and Kato's production actually helps a lot in that regard too. I mean, obviously the band themselves are fantastic, really good at saying the mood of each song. Chelly's vocals are more than capable of matching that, and she honestly has a great voice for this style of music, I think. The lyrics cover things like love, abuse and cheating, which match the album's tone really nicely too. My favourite song goes to Miss Nothing. Light Me Up is a solid debut album worthy of its success, and the band's dedication to the album's great sound and solid production are what sealed this one for me. Next is the band's second album, Going to Hell, released in 2014. It will come out through Razor and Tie, but it will still be produced by the same guys last time. So Light Me Up was a pretty successful debut, and the band would follow that up by headlining the Medicine Tour in 2012 to support the album, and they would later release another EP in 2012 titled Hit Me Like a Man. Some of their songs would be used in TV shows too, and between their EP and the release of Going to Hell, they would sign with Razor and Tie to release this album. The album itself starts with the song Follow Me Down. It sort of sounds close to their debut, but the song opens up with some sexy moaning, so that's a thing you have to deal with. To be honest, it's not a lot different from his debut in terms of its overall sound, except that it's maybe a bit faster this time around. It seems to have more of a classic rock focus, and you get the feeling that the band was catching up on the 80s for a lot of what you hear on this album. It does help to bulk up the rockier elements as this album is more focused on that side, but I don't know. See, the album is only about 45 minutes long with 12 tracks, which doesn't seem too bad on the surface, but it feels a lot more dragged out than it should be. And I don't mind a lot of the riffs on display, but they rarely change up much between songs, even on the slower ones, and it's a repetitive pace that doesn't really do a lot for me personally. The band did try, but they could have tried harder. Lyrically, it has more of a focus on themes of religion, sex and conformity, but it doesn't have as clear a focus as their previous album did. My favourite song goes to Absolution. I want to like this album more than I actually do, but there's just something that's not quite clicking for me. The production is still really good though. And finally we reached the band's third album, Who You Selling For, released in 2016. It will come out through the same label as last time and be produced by the same guys last time too. So Going to Hell was successful as well, with the band becoming the first female-fronted band since The Pretenders to have two singles at #1 in the charts. The band did a wee bit of performing, a wee bit of touring, and eventually they got the itch to get back into the studio and start working on this. Who You Selling For starts with the song The Walls Are Closing In / Hangman, and well, isn't this a lovely change? So yeah, the band realised that they didn't want this one to have the same snarky angsty sound as their previous two albums and actually stepped up a lot in terms of their maturity. That is evident from the album's pacing, which is more technical and spaced out, and it has a bit more of a throwback sort of sound to it too. I actually just really dig the vibe of this album, and again it speaks volumes of Kato's skill as a producer, and I sincerely hope that they continue to work with him. But yeah, this album just has a lot of really good stuff going for it. I like the more mature tone that it takes, and that goes for the instruments as well, with some risks being taken that do reward the band by the end. The lyrics talk about the band's fame, wanting a simpler life, and their public image, so they stepped up a lot in their songwriting there too. And also structured quite wonderfully, taking its time and showing the band's more vulnerable side in a really interesting way, something that they didn't really dare to do before. My favourite song goes to Already Dead. Who You Selling For shows that the best parts of this band kicked up by a lot with a more mature tone, vast lyrical improvement, and some of their best instrumental work to date, in my opinion. And that's it for this episode. What did you think? Is it worth selling yourself for, or did it just make you want to die? Either way, I'll see you hopefully very soon for the next episode where I'll be covering Olympia Washington's own Bikini Kill. The next thing I'll actually see you for is, hopefully tomorrow, Defy the Gods 2. If not, it might be pushed back by another week, but there is reasons for that. You're going to find out. And if that is what winds up happening, then the next thing you'll see me for will probably be a Fight the Night review this weekend. But either way, whatever you see me for next, I have a cat on my lap. Thank you for watching, you're awesome. Bye bye.